Welcome back to the Lab Trainers for a brand new episode of Pokéology, a show where I talk to you about the biology of Pokemon based on the research I found. My name is Professor SACCHARUM, and this week we're going to be observing one of the cutest couples in the Pokemon world with our Pokéology subjects, Nidoran. Before we get started, here are the topics we will look at when we research Pokemon. First, we'll look at some general information. Then we'll see what the Pokemon looks like. We'll figure out what the Pokemon eats, where we can find the Pokemon, what the Pokedex says about the Pokemon, how they behave, how they survive, and to wrap it all up, we'll go into some battle strategy. So without any more delay, let's begin. Nidoran are classified in the Pokedex as the Poison Pin Pokemon and are poison types. Now you're probably wondering why I said couple and subjects earlier. That's because Nidoran are actually classified as two different Pokemon because of their gender differences. But this was only because of technological limitations with the first Pokedex. So if you're asking why it wasn't changed to put them into the same index again, it's because the gender differences actually influence the Pokemon's appearances, behavior, and abilities to survive, even though they're the same species. For starters, the males average at about 1'8", which is roughly 0.5 meters tall, and weigh an average of 19.8 pounds or 9 kilograms. The females, however, only average at 1'4", which is 0.4 meters in height, and weigh about 15.4 pounds or 7 kilograms. Pretty neat. But again, these are only averages. Some can be bigger or smaller. I've seen instances of the males being smaller than the females.
Nidoran are quadruped rodent Pokemon with large ears. They have small horns on their foreheads as well as small sharp incisors. These Pokemon also have 2 nails on each foot. You'll notice that Nidoran have small dark spots on their bodies and they have spines that cover them like crazy. But they aren't just for show, they have a purpose. We'll get to that later, so to wrap up a general idea of what Nidoran look like, they have triangular red-orange eyes. These Pokemon do look different based on gender. So, let's take a look at these differences. Nidoran males have a pink or purplish coloring, and although their horns are small on a global scale, for the species, the males generally have larger horns and incisors. The males also bear more spines than the females. Nidoran females, on the other hand, are a light blue or purple color, and their ears are shorter than a male's. If you look at their toes, the females are more spread apart, which helps them keep balance when attempting bipedal mobility. So I guess the females are facultative bipeds. This means they normally walk on all fours, but can walk on 2 feet. And although this final difference should be kinda obvious, it's normally missed. But the females have whiskers, and the males don't. So there's that.
Both genders of Nidoran are herbivores, and their natural diets consist of berries, grass, and fruits. These Pokemon will also accept wheat products from people, but they much prefer to collect their own food. It's a pride thing. Not pride like Pyroar King pride, but the feeling pride. You know, I should watch the Pyroar King again. It's been a while. Till we find our place on... If you want to find Nidoran out in the wild, I'm obligated to warn you that although these Pokemon are like so kawaii-des, they can be dangerous since they are poison types. Their venom can cause neurological and muscular damage permanently, if not treated quickly. It is recommended to wear protective gloves and glasses when handling these Pokemon. Also, just for extra measure, carry some easily accessible antidotes. Actually, a lot of easily accessible antidotes. But if you still want to get yourself one, you can look in the following places.
Kanto's Route 3 and Safari Zone, Areas 1, 2, and 3, Johto's Route 35, 36, and Safari Zone, Sinnoh's Route 201, Unova's White Forest, and if you're lucky, there may be some hidden grottos on Route 2 that may have some. And finally, Kalos's Route 11.
The Pokedex is although the start of the Nidoran gender split, it is a good place to look at the basic information of Pokemon. So, let's start with Nidoran male.
Its large ears are flapped like wings when it is listening to distant sounds. It extends toxic barbs when angered. It stiffens its ears to sense danger. The larger its horns, the more powerful its secreted venom. It is small, but its horn is filled with poison. It charges and stabs with the horn to inject poison. It raises its big ears to check its surroundings. It will strike first if it senses any danger. The male Nidoran has developed muscles for moving its ears. Thanks to them, the ears can be freely moved in any direction. Even the slightest sound does not escape this Pokemon's notice. It scans its surroundings by raising its ears out of the grass. Its toxic horn is for protection.
And here's what the deck says about Nidoran females.
Though small, it must be treated with caution because of its powerfully toxic barbs. The female has smaller horns. Although small, its venomous barbs render this Pokemon dangerous. The female has smaller horns. The poison hidden in its horn is extremely potent. Even a tiny scratch can have fatal results. Although not very combative, it will torment its foes with poison spikes if it is threatened in any way. Its highly toxic barbs are thought to have developed as protection for this small-bodied Pokemon. When enraged, it releases a horrible toxin from its horn. While it does not prefer to fight, even one drop of the poison it secretes from barbs can be fatal. Small and very docile, it protects itself with its small poisonous horn when attacked.
Alright, cool! Oh, it's just some poison type protective gear, that's all. Alright, I'll take it off. I'll take it off in the next segment, don't worry. Never wore nothing cool. The Pokedex says that the females are naturally docile and pacifists. However, what it doesn't tell you is that the males tend to be more aggressive. They're a bit more territorial in their nests. And since we're on the subject of their nests, Nidoran live in large colonies and they have different jobs within their social structure. The females are more work-oriented and will group together to get tasks done for the colony, while the males tend to explore and play alone. Besides this, Nidoran are actually curious creatures that poke, scratch, or bite things they find while exploring. If they feel threatened, they will kick, brush, or ram against the thing that threatened them. A domesticated Nidoran does act slightly different from a wild one, as they will leap to their owners when they want attention. But be careful, because they will let you know when they want to be let down. And if you pick them up without warning, they will do anything to get down. So, be careful. A Nidoran's first line of defense will always be their fast-acting poison. Out in the wild, these Pokemon will sometimes allow threats to make contact with them just so the venom can get the job done for them. However, if the venom doesn't seem to work, they have basic combat abilities that will help them. Their tools consist of scratching, biting, tackling, kicking, and even piercing or stabbing. Nidoran aren't too shabby at digging either, so they will sometimes use this tactic to fight or hide from larger enemies. The good thing is that Nidoran live in areas that don't have any natural predators to them. However, this can be a problem because there are sometimes overpopulation issues which will cause a deficit in their food supplies, but not only for Nidoran, but for many other Pokemon as well. But every once in a while, migrations of Skarmory come around and feed on these little guys. I know it seems scary and bad, but it's actually better for the survival of the Nidoran species, along with many others. The first thing you're going to want to know about Nidoran are the fact that they are poison-type Pokemon. This typing gives them weaknesses to ground and psychic-type moves. However, Nidoran do resist grass, fighting, poison, bug, and fairy-type moves.
Next, let's take a look at the base stats of both Nidoran. And yes, their stats are different. Nidoran females I have marked in blue, and the males are marked in pink. Going from left to right, Nidoran females stats go 55 HP, 47 attack, 52 defense, 40 special attack, 40 special defense, and 41 speed. Going from left to right with the males, we have 46 HP, 57 attack, 40 defense, 40 special attack, 40 special defense, and 50 speed. With that, we can tell that the females are slower and more bulky, while the males are faster and hit harder. Now luckily for us, both Nidoran have access to either one of the same three abilities, being Poison Point, Rivalry, and their hidden ability, Hustle. Poison Point gives the opponent a 30% chance of being induced with poison when using an attack that requires physical contact. Rivalry raises attack and special attack by 25% if the foe is of the same gender, but a 25% decrease in the same stats if the opponent is of the opposite gender. And finally, Hustle increases the damage of physical attacks by 50%, but the average accuracy is only 80% of the normal. Our first set requires you to have a Nidoran male with an adamant or jolly nature and the ability Hustle. Give him the Eviolite item to hold and spread the EV's 220 attack, 36 defense, 36 special defense, and 196 speed. Then give him the moves Poison Jab, Drill Run, Sucker Punch, and Hone Claws. Poison Jab is going to be your main attacking move in this set. If your foe happens to be a Steel or Poison type, you're going to want to hit them with Drill Run. And if your opponent is faster than you and you want to guarantee a hit, you're more than likely going to want to go for Sucker Punch. If you see yourself with an opportunity to Hone Claws up, I would recommend doing so since it not only increases your attack stat, but also increases the accuracy you'll be losing thanks to the Hustle ability. Our last set is going to require that you have a Nidoran female with an impish nature and either the ability Hustle or Poison Point. Slap an Eviolite onto this tough girl and spread the EVs 196 HP, 120 attack, 86 defense, and 86 special defense. Now give her the moves Poison Jab, either Toxic or Toxic Spikes in the second slot, either Super Fang or Crunch in the third slot, and Protect in our last slot. With this set, you're going to have to decide whether you want to attempt Toxicking an individual threat or potentially Toxicking or Poisoning your opponent's entire team. With that choice made, your main attacking move is going to be Poison Jab. If you have Hustle, you may want to vouch for Crunch over Super Fang due to accuracy issues. But if you pick Poison Point, then Super Fang is your move to use. And Protect is a nice mix-up to have, which will help you chip away at your foe's HP, thanks to your poison damage.
And there you have it, Nidoran, both male and female. We accept all genders here. So, if you like this video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Let me know if you learned anything today by leaving a comment down below, and by doing so, you will add yourself to the SACCHARUM raffle, where you can win one of the sets we talked about today. You're also automatically entered if you're subscribed as well. That means by commenting and subscribing, you have 2 entries into this raffle. The winners will be announced by the end of next week, so be sure to keep an eye out for that video. You could win. But anyway, that's all the time we have for today, so be sure to tune in again next week where we'll be discussing a Pokemon that is utterly great. And don't worry if you didn't get it now, because you'll definitely get it by next week. Thanks for watching, my name has been Professor SACCHARUM, and I will see you guys next time when you visit the lab. Bye!